else tells you to do at the end of their videos, to my video, and I'll see you in the next one, which hopefully isn't a month away. Farewell. You thought I couldn't do it. You thought I couldn't get 2 videos out in 1 month. Well, guess what? You were right, but you didn't need to think that because that makes me sad. And you might be thinking, well, James, who even said that to you, that you couldn't do that? No one. But I know what you're thinking, you little bitch. But here I stand, and not only do I have a fat ass and 1 video for you, I got 3 more videos queued up ready to shoot off for the next 3 Wednesdays for the next 3 weeks. So, I don't know, like and subscribe maybe? I'm not your dad. But if I was, like and subscribe, but I'm not. Fuck you, bitch. Now that that's out of the way, can I ask you a question? If you were given 50-50 odds on a bet between you going to jail tomorrow and you having the most magical day of your life, would you capture it or just let it slip? Yo, my balls are sweaty. Peeing weak, arms spaghetti. Trick question, little bitch. You don't have a choice. This bet's already been dangled over your head all winter, and the Weather Channel's been hyping it up all week. And Mother Nature's gonna make the decision for you whether you like it or not while you sleep tonight and dream of all the fun you could have if God would just drop a money shot on New Jersey tonight. And then it happens. You come to consciousness. The usual sounds of the outside world lay silent. Your eyes flutter open and the room is bathed in a soft white light. The air feels thin and crisp. You find the urge to want to get up and run to a window to see if the joy blooming in the back of your mind should be let free. So you do just that. You slam up the curtains and then you see it. God's freshly laid spunk. You barely resist the urge to throw on a coat, run outside, and be the first to disturb the blanket of jism. But you resist because there's only one thing better than diving headfirst into a pile of chode nectar, and that's hearing the unsettling chatter of the robot lady's voice echoing from your answering machine, letting you know that schools are closed. If I haven't already lost you, I know this video isn't going to be entirely relatable to Southerners and West Coasters, but I think with a couple olive branches, we can make this thing work. Now, West Coasters, snow days for us are comparable to those days where you guys get off from school because the air quality is so poor even the pack-a-day smokers are afraid of getting lung cancer. In Southerners, it's pretty similar to those couple days you get off from school every year because your teacher decided to show up high on paint thinner again. With that out of the way, let's talk about the freedom and fun we all derive from our snow days or paint thinner days or whatever the fuck, and how they evolve with us throughout our scholarly careers. Up until about middle school, snow days always meant the same thing. First things first, it's off to the armory to be suited up by mom to fight the battle of the ages. She would usually dress us in the vein of, you know, her favorite tire mascot. And after that, it's off to battle with dad to fight a war of attrition against the snow and clear out the driveway. Now, it's a war of attrition because the snow usually wouldn't be done falling. But if you waited any longer, even Arnold Schwarzenegger would get a fucking hernia looking at the state of the driveway. Now, in the heat of battle, you mustn't forget to always clear a path to the front door and salt the stoop, because if the mailman's coming, he could slip, fall, and die, or worse, sue us. But after a while, we would throw down our shovels and surrender to the unrelenting spunk and head back inside, where mom hopefully whipped up the only thing that could keep morale high at this point, the best breakfast carb, French toast. Following our feast, it was off to the backyard with me, my sisters, and my dogs to essentially just kind of beat the living shit out of each other, but it's okay. It hurt less because there was snow. We would laugh and play and kick and scream and punch for an indiscriminate amount of time, and usually the end to that play came with someone being hit in the face with a snowball or having fucking ice dumped down their back. And when that happens, it's time to go in and disperse before anything gets too heated, but we had to be careful on our trek back to the house because the path was usually littered with giant yellow stinky patches of snow, because dogs do be pissing. And once I made it back inside and dried off and got on some comfy clothes, there was only ever one thing on my mind, and that, well, that's an old gay British man. And we're not talking any old gay British man, alright? This old gay British man was a wizard. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring was a must for me on any elementary school snow day. After expending more energy than my childhood obesity could possibly be prepared for, I had no energy left to do anything but stare at a screen. And if I'm gonna do that, there might as well be some orgasmic Elijah Wood faces staring right back at me. And every single time, I never even made it past the Watcher sequence before conking out and dreaming of how fucking far fun it would be to ski down the slopes of Kahadrihas, because you know, I could totally do that. I'm a child. And every time I woke up from that nap, it was time to rejuvenate the troops and convince my sisters to help me harass my mom until she took us sledding. As the years started coming and they didn't stop coming, my mom grew strong against our harassment, and sledding faded into the background a little bit. But that didn't stop me and my sisters from replacing that time with some of my fucking favorite video games that I can still to this day only play in the dead of winter. Specifically Spyro Ripto's Rage, which in my opinion is just the best PS2 game ever made, and Mario Party 6 specifically because it had the goofy fucking microphone. I think one of the reasons snow days stand out so distinctly in my memory and hit so different than weekends or holidays ever could is because there's like an active trade-off going on. There's an opportunity cost for all my econ majors out there. I failed macro. You know a weekend is coming, you're building up to it, you're thinking of all the stuff you want to get done and people you want to hang out with, but a snow day happens and bam! A wave of relaxation, a shortcut, a day to yourself that isn't planned, scheduled, or built into your stress map. It's just a well-needed sigh of relief. Oh, yippity-doo-dah. As the years continue to don't stop coming, the snow days evolve and take on an entirely new meaning. In middle school, like everything, they're all about video games. My happy place is hearing that robot bitch tell me that schools are closed, run into my Xbox 360, forging out a couple Halo 3 maps, and watching my boys pop online one by one, ready to embrace this gaming celebration. As middle school wears on and your parents can learn to trust you to go out on your own and not shit your pants or jump off a bridge, sledding becomes a nice midday break between your copious video gaming. Me and my boys would always sled on the hills behind our local high school, not because the hills were particularly epic, but because the snowplows would clear the road in such a way that they would pack all the snow up against the sidewalk and create fucking X Games level ramps. When I was in 8th grade, I was, you know, how you put it lightly, fat as shit, and my boy was on the hefty side as well, and we decided to take my 8-year-old inflatable snow tube down these giant ramps. Well, by the end of the day, the snow on the road had thawed, and we were essentially just landing on asphalt. On my boy's last jump, he landed just about as perpendicular to the asphalt as you can, just all the weight right on the tube, and it made a horrendous sound. It was horrible. On my last jump, I thought, hey, this snow tube has been through like a dozen winters with me, it might as well go out with a bang. So I took it in both hands, dove headfirst off the crest of the hill, and plummeted toward the ramp. I don't know what I expected to happen, but I landed at a 45-degree angle. The tube went out with a literal bang because it fucking exploded. I was propelled into the ledge of the sidewalk, and I thought my ears were bleeding because of just how thunderous the explosion was. And I don't think I can honestly tell you what was going through my head laying on that sidewalk, bloody, bruised, dazed, and confused. But if I had to take a guess, it was probably, hey man, this is still better than being in school. If middle school is all about video games, then high school is all about boners. And if the internet has taught us anything, what better an accompaniment to boners than incest? Game of Thrones, an outstanding series, and a style of storytelling that's left a formative impact on me. And I don't know if I ever would have found the show had it not been for snow days. In October of 2012, New Jersey had Hurricane Sandy barreling down on it. At this point in the season, trees had barely started to shed their leaves at this point, so with pounds of snow just crashing down on them, it, you know, eviscerated half the trees in the fucking state. And when trees go down, power lines go down. The roads were riddled with end corpses. School was out for 8 days straight. And Chris Christie fucking canceled Halloween, which, if you've ever seen him, was probably a heartbreaking decision. But somehow, some way, I was lucky enough to get power back in just a few days and fucking stumble upon Game of Thrones and binge the shit out of the first 2 seasons in like 3 days. Now, I'm not much of a TV guy, I never really have been, but Game of Thrones had me instantly invested and enthralled, and it was really awesome because the first season I got to watch on live TV. My favorite characters all got skewered right before my fucking eyes. The last iteration of Snow Day for me was the college Snow Day, which some people would use to get fucking schnockered and others would use to catch up on projects and homework, and I would use to wallow in the fact that I have no fucking clue where my life is going and I hate college more than anything. College kind of conditions you to just keep going. Don't get left behind. The opinion of your peers is looming over you. Your money and your future are on the line. Your nights are for homework and your weekends are for papers. And a snow day was the ultimate reprieve from that for me. It threw a wrench in the system and I could step out take a breath, and look at the cycle I had myself caught up in. In early March of 2017, a snow day helped me stop and clear my mind enough to make, to me, what is one of the most important decisions I've ever made in my life, and that was to start a YouTube channel. And I know that can sound cringe for some people, especially because I'm not at a point where I can at all justify not finishing college and going at this thing full tilt. But on a personal level, starting YouTube and getting over that inhibition that stopped me from expressing myself the way I wanted to my entire life and activating that creative part of my brain has absolutely saved me from wherever that spiral I was feeling at the beginning of college was going. This video has been mostly jokes and gaffes, but snow days and the respite they give us from the daily grind and that feeling that you get over time where you are defined by your productivity, that respite is invaluable to me. And I've been thinking recently, with school becoming so streamlined and like comfortable online, are kids gonna lose out on those snow days? Like, if you can't make it to the school, is the school just gonna start coming to you? Because if that's the case, that just really fucking sucks. The next generation of kids are gonna miss out on a plethora of days that would have stood out in their memories as a beacon of happiness and peace. Thank you very much for watching. I've wanted to make this video for a while because snow days really were like a very special thing for me. On top of this video, I got 3 more in the pipeline that are coming your way every week, every Wednesday for the next 3 weeks. These next few videos, I don't want to end on just telling you to go do stuff off platform and follow me. You can follow me places if you want to, but I want to say that I take pride in the backlog of content that I've built up. And if you haven't watched it or are looking for something more to watch right now, there's going to be a couple videos on the screen in a little while when the end card plays. And in suggested I could be there, you could just click on the channel page and look through stuff and all the playlists that I have. If any of it interests you or you're just looking for something more to watch on YouTube right now, I would be very flattered for you to give one of those other videos a shot. With that said, do everything everyone tells you to do at the end of their videos to my video, and I'll see you in the next one in a fucking week, baby. Farewell.